Good afternoon, everybody. Just gonna adjust the camera here. Okay. So, I want to thank everybody for showing up. I appreciate it. Definitely an energy that you come in with. I so appreciate it. I've lately really have been feeling a lot of really good positive energies just flowing all around this world, and it's a great experience right now, especially with some chaos going on in the world, all around the world. To know that I feel the love that other people show to complete strangers sometimes. It's great. You know, I'm able to step in, not in a room, but be able to walk down the street, and instead of getting bombarded with all this negative, stagnant, dense, just chaotic energy, it makes my job a lot easier in life, I can tell you that much. But anyways, I want to start off with our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptations, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen. 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 I bought this book a little while back. It's called Prayers and Promises for Wisdom. I got it for I think it was like $4. I got it at, what was it? Ross Dress for Less. Not bad, right? So I wanted to read something out of it, and it has a lot of quotes from the Bible. Different standards, different versions of the Bible too, like King James or New International Version, stuff like that. But I flipped open and it came to grace. And I'm going to read a few passages. John 1:16. From his fullness we all have received grace upon grace. James 4:6. God gives us even more grace. As the scripture says, God is against the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. That one really stood out to me because sometimes people are put in our lives to humble us, and we're put in other people's lives to humble them. Not always in a bad way, but it's a way that makes people think about how they're either interacting with the person, their worldviews, and how they subjectify a person, or it's kind of like renting space in somebody's head, you know what I mean? And you think about, it's kind of like this, at first you might feel one way about something, but as you go through life, that one thing will click in your mind that this person said, and it will humble you. Be like, yeah, you know what, they were right. You know, I am not all that in a bag of chips. I am not perfect. I am far from perfect. And, you know, we start off, like in our teenage years, you know, we can be egotistical, prideful, just full of it, right? But then there's that one person that enters your life, like say you were a womanizer or you had a lot of girlfriends growing up, and then there's that one girl you loved. Then she breaks your heart like you broke somebody's heart, that one of those other girls you used to date, right? And it humbles you to the fact that, you know, you're not all that in a bag of chips. There is other people out there that would treat individuals you did. You're not the one-of-a-kind gigolo, you know, you're not the, I'm all that, whoopity-whoop. No, there'll come a time when a woman or something will humble you, and you reach back and you think about that, and you know, the real humbleness when you acknowledge the humbleness is when it's kind of like you either can brush it off, when he's like, you know what, yeah, nah, they're lying, no. And then you keep going, or else it humbles you, and then you start making that change, right? You start making that change, and then humbleness follows, you know? It's not like you tell people, hey, I'm humble. It's like, no, you don't need to state that you're humble, right? Like, you don't have anything to prove when you're truly humbled. You know, you live in it. It becomes a piece of you. You'll naturally show your humbleness. You'll show it to others, how humble you are when you treat another person, right? So, anyways, I'm so blessed today, you know, that God has shown so much grace. Every day I wake up, I'm given another shot at life. We all are, right? And that's God's grace, man. That's universal grace. You know what I mean? When you're able to get up and do the right thing today, because it's the right thing to do, you know, and that's what God wants, is us to just naturally want us to step into that position, you know, step into that that loving role, that like, you know what, I was given a chance at life. Maybe I misjudged someone, maybe I misjudged the situation, maybe I'm not living the right way, maybe I'm not on the right path. But you know, you'll eventually find, if it wasn't for God's grace, if it wasn't for the grace that we're shown every day, and even if you don't believe in God, and I hope you do it, you know, I that's my greatest wish in this world, is for everybody to find God, to find Jesus, and to know that he gives us grace because he knows we're not perfect. We're far from perfect, but if we just walk in that path, you know, shooting for perfection. How about this? When we shoot for perfection, no, we're not going to be perfect, but we shoot for that, and it becomes a natural way of life. You start finding out that you've done things better, and it's progress, you know. Progress is, you know, perfection is not always there, but progress will lead into you perfecting the craft, you know what I mean? You know, stuff like that. I don't want to get off topic. I really want to, I want to talk about in this season, okay? No matter what, you know, has happened, and, you know, your opposition is being found out, you know, and that's the thing, guys. When we get on our path and our awakening and we walk through life, we don't seek out, you know, enemies. We don't. They just come and they don't like something about you. You know, it's what you hold inside, right? It's what you represent is what they don't like. And you know, when they fall, you know, don't be like, oh, I told you so, or yeah, you know, karma's right. You know, I hear that a lot, like, when those who went against you have their downfall, right? And that's where the humbleness comes in, man. Is that, come on, honey. Take my cat up here. You know, that's where the humbleness comes in, right? Is when you can look at it and you're like, you know, in your mind you say, you know what, I told him so, but you know, I know how that feels. I know how it feels to fall. I know how it feels to have people not believe you. I know how it feels to, it's like you're in their shoes and you feel it at a not just an empathetic level, but like you're feeling that over again, and you recall that, and you're like, I know where they're at right now, and that's a dark place to be. That's a sad place to, you know, it's just a dark place, and you hope that they pull themselves out, and you want to reach out. You want to reach out. At least for me, I want to reach out and say, hey, man, you know, it could have been different, right? But that's what they need to learn. See, what you need is what you need to learn, right? And now you see it happening to them. You know better. And that's where the real humbleness comes in. You're like, I've been there and I know, and I wish you better. I want better for you. In your mind, right? You're thinking this to the person. And that's where real love is, man. That's the love that shines from the heart, man. When those self-proclaimed enemies fall, and all along you told them not to, don't do it. You know, you're going to hurt yourself. This is not going to work. All along the line you told them, and then it happens, you know, and you feel it. You're like, I've been there. Oh, people are turning on you? Been there. You know, the slandering and lies and gossip, I've been there. But see, this is different. This is a little different because what they had been doing to you, they're being found out for that. So essentially, yeah, people aren't going to believe them because they were lying about you and it became false. So all this thing that they built up against you has been found out. So that's their humbleness phase, right? What are they going to choose to do? Brush it off and keep going? Or are they just going to, you know, are they going to brush it off and keep going? Or are they going to introspect? Are they going to go inside and be, you know what? I'm sorry. I messed up. I shouldn't. And then don't do it from there on out. Let's hope they take the latter half, right? Let's hope they go for the, you know, the humbleness phase and just like, you know, take it like a champ and go on and don't treat people that way again. Maybe this is the learning phase they need to go through, right? But don't wish that again. Don't wish their downfall. Don't hope for their downfall. You know what I mean? Because you didn't want people hoping for your downfall, right? Even if it was lies, you didn't want people doing that to you. So I implore people to, the ones that are listening, not to do that. Not to essentially feel sorry for them, but to know what they're going through, you know, and to send that loving energy like, okay, have you learned? I hope you learned. You know, God's there for you. You know, it's a learning experience, or it can be, no, honey, no. It's my cat. No, honey. I'm filming right now, honey. But it can be a chance to learn for them, or it can be a chance to go further down a dark road that they know they shouldn't. Don't let ego and pride and I should have, I could have, and let's just hope for them that they pull themselves out of a dark place and start treating people like they're supposed to be treated. This is, no matter how old they are, they can drop it and learn from it and go. Old dogs do learn new tricks, all right? I'm sorry, they do. I wrote down some things, guys. I want to make sure this is a little more on point, okay? It's about showing gratitude, guys, for the lessons learned. Really, that's what about life. What the season's about is showing gratitude for those once in a lifetime teachings, good, bad, or indifferent. They were there to teach us something, right? And those who evolved and have learned, right, who are truly on that path will show gratitude. Gratitude is essentially not doing it again, right? The lessons you learned, right? You learned from, not doing it again shows gratitude. It shows gratefulness for being pulled up out of the fire, from being pulled from disaster, the brink of disaster at least, And to show gratitude is like an outward thing, it manifests on the inside and it works outwardly, right? That's showing that. It's not projecting it, it's radiating it. It's like you instead of you watching a movie, the movie's watching you. I guess if that's the best way to see it. That's the best way to show gratitude, to show others. It's like the movie's looking back at you and learning something from you. And that's how you show gratitude for the lessons learned. Because you've learned things and gone through things that maybe 1 in every 5 million people will go through. And that's what makes you chosen, what makes you special, is that you've gone through that and you show that gratitude today, and you want to show others that there's a better way, and I'm the shining proof. But it's not always you can scream out to others, change, but a wise person will take time and notice it and want to sit in that radiation, but to want that radiating glow too, to want it without having to hurt, harm, maim, cheat, steal. That's really where you radiate that gratitude, and then they want to learn, right? And that's the great thing in life. We're always learning. And those who say, I have nothing else to learn in life are like ostriches with their head in the sand, right? Like there's nobody else around them, right? Anyways, to show grace, guys, to show grace on others is what Jesus wanted us to do, because he made sure that we all knew that God has shown us grace, right? The universe has shined upon us and shows us grace at a chance to do something better. It's like, when you went into like doing your driver's test, right? Your written test, I missed it the first time. I just went in there just blindly and did it, right? To see what I'd score. And then the second time I went in there, I did better, right? But then I waited a couple more weeks, right? I waited and I researched and I read my book. I did cue cards. I did all those things, right? And I went in and I scored like a 98 or 9. I think it's 95% because they only score 5% per answer, right? Or per question. So, and that's what God, he shows us that grace until we accomplish it ourselves. As long as we don't do less, it's like if we backtrack past that and we don't learn from the previous teachings, if we backtrack past that and we're sitting and wallowing in that rather than looking at what's at hand and really giving it our effort, our trying, that's what the grace that God gives us. I'm just giving a real world example, right? Everybody's going to make, it's kind of like the best way for me to show grace to my enemy. I don't even like saying enemies with me in the same, so I always say self-proclaimed, right? Self-proclaimed enemies. Everybody makes mistakes, and unfortunately others learn slower than others, right? Some are newer souls, some are evolved souls, some are old souls here again to help us evolve and shoot into a new earth, a new era, right? So everybody has different stages, right? And it's up to us chosen ones, right? To really, not allow people to make mistakes, but know consciously people are going to make mistakes. And unfortunately, a lot of them are towards us. But, like a teacher standing in the classroom, kids are going to throw spitballs and stuff and give them bad apples and things like that, right? But those kids learn slower, right? And we're here to teach them and to guide them along. And when that light goes off in their mind, like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? And then they go on to the next grade, right? But, everyone everyone learns slower. Everybody learns at different paces, man. Everything is not learned overnight, right? Some people start off not having anything. Some people start off having everything. And eventually, them having everything, it's going to, if they don't find that balance, they'll go right to the, it's like, start off with everything, start off with nothing, and it's going to find that balance. And hopefully, you showing others and teaching others, they'll find that balance before they lose everything. Or we can help those who have had nothing. When they get to the point, we can teach them how to keep that balance so they don't lose everything again, right? Like retention, to keep a retention within this world. Just really show some patience and grace with people, man, really. And that's what it's about when I go back to showing people like grace and it's not, I told you so. It's like, how does it feel? I'm sorry it feels that way, but I know how it feels. And that's what it's about, but it's great to see when it lights up to them and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to get out of here. This is not right. It's one of those things that triggers them to realize but it takes consistency in who you are and showing that grace to people. Don't allow people to hurt you and all that. You stand your ground in certain areas, but what I'm saying is when people shouldn't be following you around. It's annoying and stuff, but maybe they're just in awe of you, right? Maybe they're just fixated on you and they won't take it to that next level, but you know where to draw the line, right? But I'm not trying to bring that into it, but I'm just saying you've had that happen, right? Those people who have looked at you like the eighth wonder of the world, just wanted to, until the light goes off in their head, this is unhealthy, I need to get out of here. I've had that happen, guys. I've had that, the people who fixate on you because you're an oddity to a lot of people because of what you've been through and you haven't been broken. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when the man who can't feel any cold slept in an ice cold bath for 2 days without feeling cold. But everybody tuned in to watch, right? They've never seen it before, and when it becomes unhealthy, I've seen people when it gets to points unhealthy, they're like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. Or it's taken me to confront them. I don't like you. This is unhealthy. And then it's like, oh crap. But then you have people who take it a little bit further, and even with that, you have to take that sometimes day by day. But I'm just saying, it all-encompassing to show the ones who have hurt you a little bit of grace doesn't always hurt, because like I said, people learn at different stages and different points in their life. But if it ever gets into hurting, physically hurting you, or you don't feel comfortable with it, yes, you speak up. But anyways, I'm gonna go on. Hopefully you got something from that. It's kind of like okay, I'll hit this one off. Hit this nail on the head here. It's kind of like when you leave home, right? As a kid, you're like, oh, I'm gonna accomplish all these things. Your parents no, but if you ever need to come back, you can. It's like, oh, I'll never come back. I'm gonna make it. But then 5 years down the road, you lose your job, you lose your house, your wife leaves you, and then you come back, and your parents show you some grace rather than digging in and you I told you so. It's like, son, I had a feeling this would happen. I've been there. This happened to me with my parents. This is how come I know. I guess that's a better way to put it, guys. So, all right. You know, it's also essential in this season with us is to forgive, but not forget, because that is the gift that God has given us. You know, as children of this universe, children of God. Period. Is that we are here to forgive, but not forget, because that is being grateful for the learning process. Because for us chosen ones, a lot of us are called to not just some in the limelight and help change like the music industry, movies, stuff like that. You see them like Keanu Reeves and stuff like that. And recently Daddy Yankee, right? He came on board and he was like, yeah, you know, he went all in for God, right? So, you know, a lot of us are picked and chosen to go through hard teachings so that the learning process we went through, we can be teachers for others. You know what I mean? Because we're not the only chosen ones, all right? There will be more that are awakening every day that need our assistance. They look like the oddball. They might be homeless, talking like they're crazy, but they're not. They're just trying to settle in their bodies. They're trying to settle into who they are. You know what I mean? Because they are coming into their awakening process. Not all homeless people. I'm telling you, I know, for example, about 80% of homeless people work for God in one way or another. If they know it or not, they do. So, you know, I know, okay, I'll say it for me, okay. What I had went through was, a lot of it was 1 in 5 million type experiences, right? And it has given me the ability, the stripes, the education to sit in this chair today and honestly and earnestly give you guidance, you know, how to help you through some tumultuous points in your life, how to learn how to be balanced and to not go in the head, you know, because there's not a lot of teachers out there that want to get on and really say to the chosen ones or just the children of God that, hey, there's dark places, we've been there, you know what I mean? But this is what you had to go through to get to this point, and this is why. You know, and I am one of those who have, I can honestly say they have earned this position to get on here and tell you and talk to you every day about how hard it can be, what's going to happen, what might be happening right now, and share some of my experiences so I can help aid you in your journey into your prosperity. 11:11 on the clock, guys. I just looked over. So, you know, I didn't know I'd be doing this, guys. Along my journey, I thought I'd be doing art all the time. I would be doing, you know, poetry. I'd be doing dance. I'd be doing all these really cool, like, I can do that. Yes, that's awesome. God has afforded me to do that. But I didn't know I would ever get on YouTube. And have followers that resonate. I didn't, in my journey, like when I was homeless for a year and a half on a mat with 30 other men in the room, you know, on their mats, like waking up every day at 5 a.m. and pushed out into the world. Like when I was walking like 10 miles a day for that year and a half, talking to God, consoling in Him and helping others around me, I didn't know that was going to prepare me to get on here and talk to you guys and to share my life and give you strength and hope, and that you can persevere, and that you know that you're stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. And this is why. This is why you've gone through what you have gone through. So you can be a teacher, be a helper, a healer. You don't have to like put hands on people and always pray for people to be a healer. No, sometimes you can sit in a room, guys, and I know this for a fact. You can sit in a room and there will be sick people in the room, literally physically sick people, and you're healing those people. Your presence in that room heals them. You're chosen by God, the cosmos, to be on this earth right now to be a healer, whether you want to or not. You even simply being in a room with other people who are ill. Like, I'll give you an example. I was married to, well, we weren't married, we were together for about 6 years, six and a half years. And she had problems with her back and her body and stuff. And me being with her healed her body. Me being sleep with her alongside her every night healed her body enough to where she could get up every day and function. Before she couldn't. She had a cane. She was hurting, physically hurting, and my body would heal her, and I want to look back on it and be, even though it was a lot of it was just not a good spot in my life, but I can say that I understand, our bodies, where it's when there's a hurting soul reaches out for us, it needs us, whether it knows it or not. It's not, sometimes the only way they know how to get attention is lashing out, right? Because they need us in some way. They lash out thinking they're going to get that attention, that they're going to get their representation, and that's why our energy is highly potent. It heals, it cures, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. I mean, this is why you've gone through different stages in your life to teach you different. When you have the time to sit back and look at it, it will show you why you were in places at certain times with certain people, doing certain things, witnessing certain things, because you can help heal this planet. You're here to heal. A chosen one on stage, acting, heals the soul. People are laughing. People are crying, getting that out. They're chosen to get up there and sing and dance, comedy, it heals, right? And then music. A chosen one will get in the industry, and you'll know a chosen one. You'll know one. And they're not like mainstream like everybody else, but you'll see them and you'll hear them, and it uplifts your soul, uplifts your spirit. It heals you. It brings you back to good memories, right? These are chosen, right, for different things. They don't have to be healers. They're healing even if they don't know it. Their role in the movies, their role in music heals. Yes, it does. Whether they know it or not. Get it? You have come on your journey far as a healer or in your healing process. And this is a point in time in this season, people will try to negate that. They'll try to lower your status or your stature and your integrity level. You have naturally been a certain way for a very long time, because it's natural now. Before, you were pushing yourself to do it, and then it became a routine. It became something natural because you found out it was the right thing to do. It was the right way to live. It was the right way to treat people. It was the right way to help others, right? And there are some people out there trying to reach back, way back in your life, trying to pull that forward, have you sit down with it and look at it. Don't allow those people to try to bring at you some hidden childhood wounding plate of messiness, right? You've done that healing. You've had a whole new chapter in your life. These are old chapters, old cycles, right? You have already passed those. So just know when that comes at you, you don't have to give it energy. You don't even have to look at it. You don't. God has forgiven you. God has raised you up. God has shown you grace. God has given you the opportunity to not even allow it in your sphere, right? You don't have to. And there'll be a time they'll try to get at your I don't want to say weakness. It's trying to pander to your good nature, and then they'll try blindsiding you with that. So I'm not saying like keep yourself away from people, but if you see old people trying to insinuate old things, not even that, or just trying to insinuate new things that are impossible and never happened before and will never in 1,000 years, see, they'll try to get you out of your seat. Don't. Just be who you've been. Be who you've been. Be consistent in it. Stay in your integrity, because that's who you are. Don't allow anybody to try to pull you out of your seat, trying to paint a picture of who you're not, because you know. See, they'll try to create a narrative of lies. Hopefully you fall into that and make a mistake somewhere. Don't. You're better than that. And they know it. And they'll just come out with lies, guys. That's it. That's all they have left in their arsenal is lies. And let's just hope they back off, back out, and just go get a life. Really, just go get a life, because you're not going to change. You, my friend, my fam, my tribe, my people, my chosens, you're not going to change. You're not. And no matter what lies, what boo-boo the fool they try to get coming in at you, it's not going to work. It's not. God's protecting you. Angels protecting you. If anything, the trap that they set, they're going to snare it on their own. They're going to fall in on their own. They are. They are. It's in the Bible. Those who lay traps will be snared in their own. Period. So just stay consistent. Stay in your humbleness. Stay happy. Show grace. Show mercy, because you had it shone upon you. All right? And you know what? And the thing is, if they have people coming at you and they see that, they won't be able to mess with it, because they're gonna, for one thing, they're gonna stand back and try to observe you, right? And if you're consistent always, because it's the right thing to do, because you're like that, they're not even gonna approach you. They're gonna go back to the person, and they're gonna look at them like they're crazy. They're gonna be the crazy one. Their projection's gonna be no more. That movie reel is gonna dissipate, and more of their lies will be revealed. You get what I'm saying? Whatever they throw at you, it will return. It's kind of like the old, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say, bounce off me and sticks to you. Might sound childish, but it's true. It's true. You are. And the sooner they realize that, the sooner they get comfortable with that and go on and live their lives, they might prosper more doing their own thing somewhere else than coming at you. They're just going to waste their time. They are. They are. And they're just going to prove. It's kind of like, you know, when they didn't kill John the Baptist, right? Because he would have been a martyr, right? How do I put this? He would have been, it would have pushed his narrative, and it would have had a greater following, right? That's why they didn't. You kind of get where I'm going? So they come at you trying to do you in. See, it's not that you're going to be martyred or anything. It's that it's going to be proven more and more to more eyes how good a person you are, how great you are naturally from the inside, and how good of a heart you have. And those oppositions they want set in are probably going to want to be your friend. They're going to probably want to learn and pick up whatever Kool-Aid you're drinking, right? You start off in an odyssey, and now you're a star. You know what I mean? Or an oddity. You started off as an oddity. Now you're becoming a star. You're becoming the main attraction. You didn't ask for it, but you're becoming that way. Right? You're becoming that way, and that's who you're going to be. But it took your learning process. It took all that blood, sweat, and tears, and sacrifices, and hard hits, and getting down on your knees and praying, and being aware of how divine and naturally driven you are by our Heavenly Father. You know? He's in everything. He's in us, and we know it. We know it. You know, some of us, like when I was growing up, I wasn't baptized growing up. I didn't get baptized till I was in my 30s, man. And, if you're not baptized, please do it, because it gives you that natural armor. It's the armor of God. You get baptized, guys. I really, and don't do anything bad after that. Please don't. Just know that you get baptized. That's when you're like, no more of that nonsense. And then you're obligated, and I'll tell you another thing, when you're baptized, you're obligated to lead people to the Lord. Not obligation, but you take the responsibility of bringing other people to the Lord best way you can, when you can, right? But anyways, okay, so just stay on the path that you have right now, please. Please stay on the path, because you put a lot of work in. You don't want to make mistakes and have those people coming at you see you as wishy-washy. No, just be consistent, because you put a lot of work in. You know you have. You put a lot of freaking work in. And it's being seen by the universe, it's being seen by God. And this is your season, guys. You know what I mean? This is your consistent season. This is your season of reaping. It is. It's been in the works. It's getting to you. It's just waiting for you to stand in your power, stand in your potential, and I really see to forgive others that have long since been coming at you, right? They made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Like I said, everybody learns at different levels. People learn different intervals and stuff, right? But grace and mercy and compassion is real paramount in this season, because that's who you are. That really shows who you are. It showcases your light. Okay? So God bless. Praise Jesus always, always. And again, guys, it's a great book. It's called Prayers and Promises for Wisdom. It's a great book. It even comes with a little... Yeah, I got it at Ross Just Bless. $3.99, baby. But thank you for showing up. And yeah, guys, I got a new... Check it out, guys. I also suggest this, guys. Try to surround yourself with plants, guys. Go get yourself a plant, please. I didn't have any in my house, man, and I don't know why I didn't have any. But I tell you, you know, nature is a pivotal part. It has been in my life. And I was watching a video earlier, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I need that. You know, because I've noticed that I'm around my house more often now because I'm doing videos. I'm really digging into my passions in different ways. And if I can't get out into like parks, into nature, and my walks like I used to, I can at least bring nature to me, right? In any little way. It's funny, my cat. If you have cats, they'll try to eat the plant. Yeah, they'll try to bite into the plant. It was weird, but she died down now, and she's doing good. She's not trying to eat my plant anymore. But anyways, guys, enough said. God bless you guys, and please like, share, subscribe. There'll be more videos like this, guys. All right. God bless you.